Hi everybody, back from San Antonio, working on some scenery. So I want to share a couple things that I have learned. First of all, let's talk about the pine trees. So the pine tree on the left, I made with some furnace filter stuff, the cheapest stuff I could find. It was at Lowe's. And see how dense that is? You really need the really cheap stuff. So the one on the right was made with the really cheap stuff like this. So I used Ron Marsh's method. You can just look at his video for making inexpensive pine trees. I think the one on the right looks a whole lot better than the one on the left. It's a lot, I don't know how to describe it. The structure is a lot airier than the one on the left. So anyhow, just if you're going to make these pine trees, use the cheapest filter material you can get. That's my tip. Anyhow, besides that, it has the same ground foam, same green paint, same trunk, everything. So you can make these things for literally pennies. I mean, I bought 100 skewers for $1 from Dollar Tree. The furnace filter was $1, at least the cheap one, for a 20 by 20. And gosh, I could get, you know, I'd hate to guess how many trees. Depends how, of course, depends how many rows you want of vegetation. But I'd say you could probably get, 40, 50 trees, something like that out of it. So again, you're talking, a couple cents a piece for a tree. Then you got green spray paint, or actually, I didn't have green. Yeah, I did spray paint this green. I did an olive green. I've got brown spray paint for the trunks, or you could use brush paint. And then I've got cheap hairspray and ground foam. So really cost effective. Super Tree over here on the left, they're not anywhere near as cost effective. The Super Tree starter kit that I got 27 trees out of. It was like $40 or something. So that's more than $1 a tree. That's good looking trees, but it's pretty expensive. I did buy the refill. I don't know if you want to call it a refill or not, but it's see if I can slide in here without knocking anything down. Basically, this is has a bunch of trees that are 5 to 8 inches tall. It's a Super Tree value pack. I could probably get like 150 trees out of that thing. Probably couldn't just see it now, now that I can tell I've sort of zoomed in. Anyhow, it's a big box. The thing is, it's $35 for the box of trees, and it's like $15 to ship it. So if you can get it at your local hobby shop, you're a lot better off. Let's talk about cars now. So I had one of the viewers, I think it's Chris Bell, asked me where I got the Pinto, which is this car right here. I got it at the N-Scale weekend up in Ohio. A guy had a whole bunch of 3D printed cars in plastic bags. They're 2 pieces without windshields, and of course unpainted, for $4. Really nicely detailed. And that's what this one is too. So it requires a little bit of work to finish them, and they're not as good. This is an Atlas truck. And of course you can get those in 2 packs. And but now you're paying like $10, $12 a truck or something like that instead of $4. If you have a layout, you're going to need a bunch of vehicles. You don't want to spend that much money. This is an old, maybe 70s or 80s N-Scale car the way they used to be. It looks pretty crappy. I don't want to spend all this time making good scenery, weathering my trains, having really highly detailed trains and buildings, and have a bunch of cars that look like that on there, to be honest with you. So I always keep this like parked in the background somewhere, and eventually I'm probably just going to get rid of it. Let me show you the guys, how to get in touch with the guy. Okay, so I contacted the people who ran N-Scale Weekend, Central Ohio N-Track. They were nice enough to respond to me. And this is his email. They said if you email him, he will send you a list of what he has available. He has dozens of choices. Cars, trucks. He has semi-trucks. I didn't see any like bulldozers, like construction equipment, things like that. It was mainly vehicles you'd see drive on the roads. He's also on two of the forums, trainboard.com and the railwire.net, neither of which I'm a member of, although I did just apply to join railwire.net. And on there he goes by Rasputin, and one of the guys from Central Ohio N-Track said that he has messaged him on those forums, has gotten no response. So if you want some cheap, really good looking cars that you're not, if you're willing to put the time in on them, I think those are really nice. Now they come in all white. I just left the Pinto white because you see tons of white cars on the road. The windshields are the micro crystal clear stuff. So the hardest part for me is the tires and the wheels. getting the wheels to look, to not have any bleed over between the tire and the wheel. That's the hardest part for me. Like on the Atlas, you can see how nice that looks on the Atlas, and it's just really, really hard to do on the other ones. But they're well worth the money, I think. So I'm building a bunch of trees. I've got 28 more super trees drying. If I put them on the layout tomorrow. I've got a few more pine trees made. Again, these are the ones with the expensive filter. These are the cheap filter. Cheap filter looks a whole lot better. I'm not going to trash the other ones, but I'll probably put them more in the background, use them as filler trees. Talk about one other thing. So the fire tower here, see if I can slide it in here. Somebody noticed that it doesn't have a stairwell inside it. And actually that's a blessing for me, because I would hate to have to build that. So we started joking around a little bit, and I said, well, actually they spent so much money rebuilding it that they didn't have money to build a stairwell. And he said, no, probably what happened was that some thieves came, and since wood is so expensive now, they left the copper wiring and took the wood. That's why it doesn't have stairs. So that's pretty plausible. It might actually happen. Lumber right now is super high. So, but anyhow, it's just one of those things that I'm just going to have to live with it. Just a detail I'm going to have to overlook. But it's going to be, even though the area around the fire tower is going to be clear because that's the way they do it, it's still going to have trees blocking the view of the bottom of it anyhow. So you won't completely be able to, it's not going to be like a foreground thing, but I'm just going to have to live with not having a stairwell. I'm not scratch building a stairwell. Chance had a rough night. He's still doing okay, but we don't know if it's something he ate or whatever, but my wife got up at 12:30 in the morning, went in the kitchen, I heard her scream. He'd thrown up 4 times, and she stepped in it. And then I went in the training room, and he had peed in here. He is a very, very quiet dog. He will not, he rarely barks or makes any noise at all. If he has to go out, he'll just go stand and look at the door. He will pace around if no one comes to answer. He'll start running around the house looking for a way to get outside, but he will not bark to let you know that he needs to go out. So usually he wakes me up. Last night we had our door shut. So hopefully it was just a rough night for him. Seems to be better today. But we're going to monitor that, because the last time he started throwing up, he got all bloated, and we thought he was going to have to put him down. So we're going to keep a close eye on him the next few days. But besides that, he seems to be doing okay today. So we'll see how tonight goes. All right, that's all I got. I originally filmed this in 3 separate videos, and it was like 16 minutes long. I thought that's too long to talk about what I want to talk about. I value your time more than that. So again, thanks everybody for the positive comments on the San Antonio videos. And I'm not going to be traveling again for a while, so you won't see any Railfan videos unless I just happen to see something at the down by the tracks and I film it or something. But I don't travel again until September, so it's going to be model railroading and N-scale and G-scale probably for the next couple months. So everybody stay safe.